everybody. Welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and this is your Saturday, August 20th edition of Coming Up Roses, episode number 72.
72.
Right that time.
Yeah. Back on a semi-regular schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And almost at the end of August.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got most of next week?
I work on Thursday.
You work on Thursday. But Friday is a
flex day, so I don't have to work. I can
Okay.
flex the time out for other after hours or whatever.
Okay.
Like if I end up working late other days, I can count it. So technically I don't have to work on Friday because I will be there over contract hours.
Are you there? Are you going to do it anyway, or?
I might. That might be a good day to go in and just decorate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I probably maybe do half the day.
Yeah.
And then
We were in there Thursday doing furniture. We moved. You had all your desk. We actually moved, which has been a staple in your room for a long time, the kidney desk.
Since I started teaching kindergarten, I had a big like half circle table, and the kids all sat at big square tables, 4 kids at each table. And this year I am putting them all at individual desks.
Mhm.
So they have their own little space to hold their Chromebook and their
Completely
iPad
breaking the
and their
mold.
notebook. And I don't have to have a place to, keep all those things. Because we spent a lot of time with, all right, everybody, go get your iPad. And they'd all have to go get their iPad. And then so I'm going to try teaching them how to take care of things in their desk. I'm sure we'll have to take desk clean out
The
time
first
every
couple
week,
weeks,
but yeah.
the first couple weeks are always, training the kids how to be kids in school.
Yeah. But
So-
we're going to try to do that to hopefully save us some time so they'll all have their
Yeah.
stuff on hand.
I
And
think it's a great idea.
I took 2 of their square tables and put them together as my teaching table to get rid of that big half circle table.
Technically, a little less room.
It takes up less floor room. It gets me a little closer to the kids, which is good.
And I think the way you laid it out, it worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, she got her new chair, new office chair. And like I said, if you're gonna get a new chair, get the what was it?
I bought the
casters.
like special wheels. They're not the plastic ones that come with the chair. The problem with the plastic ones is they scuff the tile floor.
Yeah.
Especially when they get old and you've had them for a couple of years. Or my chair that's over by like where I read from
Mhm.
is right in front of the classroom sink. So if the kids are over there washing hands or getting a drink, they get water all over the floor, and then that will scuff all over the place over there. But the new chair is for my small group table where we really spend most of my instructional time is in small group. So
Yeah. But the new casters will look like
it's like
blades from wheels from
they're like rollerblade wheels. They're really
wheels,
cool.
yeah.
And
they're nice. They're
quiet. They roll
It is
so
a
nicely.
slick. It was a good move.
So it's funny how, and the chair is a little taller, so it supports my back more. And because they're a littler, so I'm hunched over and leaning over a lot, and my shoulders and my neck really hurt after a while. So I'm raising the tables up some, letting the kids either stand or sit in their knees in a bigger chair so that I can sit up and it's better for me.
There you go. Self-care.
Yeah.
You had to convince Robin of that
things.
too, and I think
I didn't have to convince Robin. The problem was last year we just didn't have the furniture to put in there. We were in COVID mode still last year, and so
yeah,
we had to still be distanced apart, and
that shit is over.
That's kind of done, so we can kind of go back to a normal. Which
is weird because, like, right now, I know a lot of people that have just either recently have COVID or actively have COVID, and it's kind of crazy. But the variant that's out now isn't very deadly at all. So.
And I had COVID in June, but yesterday I got my second booster, which I haven't had any problems with any of the boosters, but this one's just making me really tired today.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could just sleep all day. And my arm is sore, and this morning was a little numb to the touch right here, but that seems to be better. But
that's what it was after I got the second one. When I got the second one, that put me down. I mean, I
don't feel bad. I feel fine. It's not like I can't keep my eyes open, but just tired.
Yeah, lethargic.
Yeah. So Enjoy the show today.
Ooh, we're high energy.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I have a mantra that we're gonna do every day.
Yeah, what's that?
I
mean, I know what a mantra is. I'm not an idiot.
It's a quote from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember it off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. So Lin-Manuel is Miranda is the writer of Hamilton and the music for Encanto. And so Kelly is absolutely
I'm
fallen in love
obsessed with him.
his music.
He's brilliant.
If you get a chance to see Hamilton, it is a really good play, and extremely well written. The man, you can tell the man did his homework when he was writing it. He actually, from what I understand, he spent a lot of time at the Hamilton Library in New York, because that's where he lives, of course, and reading his own writings and whatnot. So there's that. I mean, there's some things he takes liberty with. I mean, obviously, the cast is just cast for talent. It's not cast based off of those bunch of white guys. But the music was fantastic.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Every word, every beat, every note is like intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. And the fact that the music calls back to other songs and whatnot, it's pretty well written.
So good. But the quote is something like, oh, here it is. It says, "Good morning, eyes up, hearts up, minds sharp, compassion on full blast. Okay, let's go." And I think I'm going to do that at the end of every morning meeting.
There you go.
Every day, that's going to be our little mantra in the classroom. Because you can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't.
It's got a good message. Get your mind ready, get your eyes and ears ready to go, put your compassion on for other people, and let's do this.
There you go.
I mean, it's just perfect. It's the perfect feeling I have for how I want my class to be.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I have to have this little poster, and it's just going to be the end of my morning meeting every day, but they're going to repeat it with me. I need to find a cool way to like maybe do a like an echo thing where I say it, they repeat it, but we have like a cool like cadence to it, so that it becomes something really fun. So anyway, we got that, and I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It should be a good year.
Yeah,
hopefully it'll be a very good year compared, at least hopefully less stressful than last. So last year she had a very difficult student.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it made things very difficult.
Every teacher's had them. This is this kid though, like in all my years, has challenged me more than any other kid I ever taught.
Yeah.
And I found ways to really like connect. We had a decent, like a good rapport, and I liked him. It's just his behaviors were so difficult at times, and disruptive to the environment in the classroom, which, and I've never had a kid I couldn't like nurture along and improve
and move forward
and I could not, no matter what.
Because even the kid you had the 2 years before that,
I mean,
you made a lot of progress. If the pandemic hadn't happened, this kid would have made a tremendous amount of progress.
I've never had a problem not dealing with a kid or the behaviors, and I've always found ways to build the relationship and like, coax them along, and you see a lot of, progress. This kid, like you said, that was perfect. I just couldn't move forward because nothing I did worked. Nothing anybody did worked. So he's a special case, but it just takes one sometimes, and you get so hyper focused on that it kind of feeds into everything else. And I'm not letting that happen to me this year.
Before last year, the worst year that you had was the last year that you taught third grade. And now it's
for the same reasons.
Well, you didn't have one particular kid that was screwing you.
I had a group.
You had a group of kids, but none of them were individually that bad.
No, there were some that were really.
And then there was the fact that you were out in the shed literally out in the
It isn't
shed.
portable.
And it was just a bad situation.
You know what? We don't have the light turned on. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every year there's challenges with kids every year.
Yeah.
This particular one was just more.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
forward.
I'm getting to that stage in my career, but like I said, I just never had that kind of trouble where I couldn't figure it out. And he did, I don't want to say he didn't make any progress because he really did.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at where he started at when he moved into my room in December and what we were dealing with in May, he had come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it just was difficult.
Stressful. But, and when I say I'm not going to let that happen to myself this year, I'm just not going to let my emotional state get so beaten down by it. I'm not going to let the focus shift to the negative, because it's not fair to me. It's not fair to the kids. It's not, I got too bogged down in the negative last year, and my goal this year is to keep it positive. Which one of the things I had written on my little list of things to talk about, Robin, who's my assistant in the room, her and I have been friends. I mean, if you listen to us, since we were 13. I said to her, I think what I want to do at the end of every day after the kids are on the buses and they're gone is to sit down and write one thing that happened during the day that I'm going to count as a win. Whether it just be a funny comment a kid made that made me laugh, a breakthrough a kid had with some learning, a behavior that I saw a kid manage on their emotional, manage on their own, whatever. I'm going to find one thing every day that I'm going to put in the win column and I'm going to write it down.
That's awesome.
Because if you don't take the time I am a type of person that I look and get hung up on the things that annoy me. I like to piss and moan and the sarcasm comes out. And sometimes it's my humor. It's how I handle it. Last year, I just felt like it became too much.
Yeah.
And it kind of started taking over I don't want to let that happen. So I'm going to get a notebook and I don't know what I'll name it, my win column or something. And every day I'm going to write one thing that I can put in the win column for that day.
That's pretty damn positive.
Even if it's just a personal, like I got through my full bottle of water today, like even if that's the only thing I can count.
That actually probably helps with the weight loss track,
Yeah. So I want to be able to go back and like read through and say, okay, because you always remember the really irritating.
That's kind of where I'm at now and with the job, because I take heat for the cable company. That's my job. So it's hard to, it's a difficult job. It really is, because all you're hearing is just, you're just getting beat down all day long. But inevitably, there are some good folks that call in to have a problem. You help them with it, and they're very happy. It happens. It happens a lot. It happens more often than not. But it's easier to focus on the bad stuff that happens.
It is.
So if you focus more on what positive thing happened today,
and let that bad stuff go, because it's going to happen every day. You can't stop it from happening.
Yeah. So I get where you're coming from.
It's just how you process it. Now, granted, this is the pre-September me. And so in 4 more episodes, I might be like, that shit went out the window. But that's what summer's for, right? It's time to refocus and
well, I think once you start getting back into the routine of things, that'll be better. Because
you're
already looking forward to
the normal
having
routine.
That structure.
The no masks, the back to normal, like.
Well, plus even with the eating habits and whatnot.
Oh my gosh, this. I haven't been talking up the Wonder thing as much as I did when I started, and that's typical me. Like, I'm all gung ho at the beginning. She's still doing it. I am still following it, not very carefully right now, because here's what happened to me. The summertime the schedule gets difficult because there is no schedule. There's no routine to my day. Mm-hmm. And so I am much better when I know this is what's going to happen at the same times every day. I can plan on it.
Yeah.
So this last week or so, I've maintained my weight loss and actually lost some a little through the summer, but pretty well maintained throughout the summer.
Yeah.
I didn't gain any weight. I might have lost maybe 5 pounds this summer overall, which is not great, but it's better than gaining.
That might
5
not
pounds.
sound, yeah, that might sound shitty, but since she started this whole thing, she's lost a tremendous amount of weight.
I've lost 40 pounds.
Doctor you went to,
yeah,
we even remarked on it.
Yeah. So my goal, with the summers, just don't want to gain, because I'm home, I'm bored, I want to eat, which I didn't do a lot of that. So
No.
that was good. But this past week or so, I've just been like, this week's a wash, because next week the routine starts again and I will get back on it. I will be back to being hydrated every day like I should be, because I can't drink water if I'm not thirsty. At school, I talk all the time, so I'm more thirsty, so I drink more. And I can get the hydration I need, I feel like, a little better then. But so my mindset was like, eat those potato chips, because in a week you're going back to, let's have that slice of pecan pie. Because in a week you're going back to the, and I still haven't gained. I've still maintained.
Yeah, which is amazing, because your book club did the whole
but I didn't eat a lot
pie thing, and then
I didn't eat a
before
lot.
That you did went to a party, which
I didn't eat hardly anything at that either, though.
Yeah, she's been going out and doing stuff.
I did. I had a very social week last week.
That's
more,
right.
I mean, more so than ever.
Yeah. Very proud of you.
So, but like, I had a little ham roll and some vegetables,
and they were good
the one night, and then at book club I had a small piece of slice of the chicken pot pie. I had a small slice of the pecan pie. I had some spinach thing that Robin made. I drank water, so it wasn't like I didn't overeat at those things. But last Thursday, when we went to school, and then when we left school and we went to Freddy's, and we got a patty melt, and
which ended up being a real mistake.
A
small cup of
custard, which, oh my gosh, the patty melt was delicious, but the both of us ended up not feeling well the next day. And I said, I think it was just so greasy.
It was real good.
And I don't have a gallbladder, so it's just, I can't process that stuff anymore.
It was just, yeah. I mean, once you start eating a little healthier, and then you go and have something that's so outrageously not good for you, it kind of fucks you over a little bit. So,
I mean, I was up with reflux, and I haven't had reflux problems in so long that it actually like kept me up, and I had to sit. I'm like, all right, what's going on? I just don't 100% feel right. Like, something just isn't feeling right. And it took me a little while to like put my finger on, okay, this is my reflux stuff, because it's been so long since I've had trouble with reflux.
Yeah.
Which is good, because that stuff used to keep me up all night with worry and anxiety, but it doesn't do that anymore. So yeah, I mean, once you start staying away from those kind of foods, but I tell you what, like, don't go back to that.
One of the things that we had, which actually was, I wouldn't say it was bad for us, but it probably wasn't good for us either. We went to a lobster place where they do lobster rolls. The first one we went to was, what was the name of
Mason's Famous Lobster Rolls.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're not cheap, but
the lobster can't really be that bad for you. It's got butter.
Yeah,
it's butter. It's not great, but
and the buns
were bread is carb heavy probably.
But that was it was amazing. It really was. It was like a real good hot dog roll with a bunch of.
Oh, I'm sure people know what lobster rolls are.
Oh my God, it was so good.
That's the first time I ever had lobster.
Yeah, I've had lobster before. But
I like crab.
Really unbelievable.
Like, I'm a big fan of crab. I'm surprised I never really tried lobster before. And then we saw this place down on off the Chesapeake Bay. Like, oh, we should stop there. And they're real expensive. It's not something you're going to do very often, because they were pricey. Then there's another place, a more local place. I think Mason's is a chain. Yeah. But there's a more locally owned place, and we went there with Mom and Dad, and theirs was good, but not as good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really good. but the bun was different. The Masons had, I mean, they had it on
It was
lock.
really
It
like
was,
grilled. You could tell they
they
put
would
it
grill
on
the
the grill.
bun.
Yeah.
It had texture, and it was
And the lobster was sweet and delicious.
it was, it was unbelievable. So if you get a chance, go ahead and do it. You're not going to do it every day or every month, but
Like I said, we're late in the game to the lobster rolls, I'm sure.
yeah, but it was
They
so
are not
good.
a new invention.
And we did Connecticut rolls. We did.
I did Connecticut roll, yeah, because I don't want the mayonnaise base.
Yeah.
But
I might try the lobster roll the next time, but the Connecticut roll is basically no mayonnaise. It's just warm butter, and it was so good. It was, I can't even. It was,
stop talking about it because it's like making me want to go get some, and it's way too expensive.
Yeah. Anyway, so there was that, and then we took your mom and dad to the other place, which was good. They liked it. Michael even liked it.
I told Mom next time we're gonna order from the one because the Masons, they have one at the oceanfront too. So we'll order takeout from that one, and then we'll drive to their little spot.
Yeah,
because that one I just liked it better.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was worth a couple extra bucks.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's been that. I had a weird dream last night. I had a dream that I got a tattoo of a heart on my arm, like right here. And inside the heart was the initials of all of my grandparents that have passed away. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
So it woke me, I remember it. And it's got me thinking about
the tattoo,
getting a tattoo again.
You thought about it for a while with a heart, and it was a thing. Wasn't long after Libby died.
It wasn't a heart. It was a phrase. It was a phrase that said, "Nothing loved is ever lost," and it had little puppy, like little doggy paws on it.
But there was one that you had a fake one put on, and you got mad because it rubbed off.
That was a henna tattoo I did in Myrtle Beach, and it didn't.
But that was really it was cute. It was cute. I'm never gonna get a tattoo. I don't like needles. But
I remember like in my dream they were doing the tattoo, and I'm like, this doesn't hurt at all. What's the big deal? You can barely feel it. I wonder if it's because I had
could be
the vaccine in this arm. Maybe that's because it was sore. Maybe that's like I don't know.
That may be exactly.
But yeah, I go back and forth on like what I would get a tattoo of. I'm not really against having a tattoo.
Yeah. In the comments, leave us some, whether you think she should do it or not, if it hurts, what kind of tats you guys have. I'm curious about that. So I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to happen for me, but I don't oppose it.
I feel like, people say, oh, you get it on the back, but if I get it, I want it somewhere I can see it.
Yeah, but then
then if I can see it, everybody can always see it.
Yeah. And you probably want to do like I remember she taught with you, Marie. She had a sleeve, but it stopped at a certain spot, and she always wore sweaters that covered it. And I remember when she left Brookwood, she took her sweater off, and I was shocked by the amount of tattoos she had on it.
Yeah, you don't even have to cover tattoos at work anymore, though.
Yeah, it's an accepted thing now. And you don't want to do like a neck tattoo.
No, I certainly no, and it would probably be something that. I always kind of like the ones on the inside of the wrist, just real little ones.
There's no way that doesn't hurt.
I don't know. I've had blood drawn from there, and it's temporary pain.
Yeah. Wow.
My thing is just what to tattoo on myself that I would be happy with for the rest of my life. That's the thing for me. Like committing to something being on your body forever. That's a big, for some people, it's not a big thing at all. They tattoo shit all over themselves and they don't care. But I think for me, it would have to be something really meaningful that will stay meaningful to me until forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't necessarily want something all colorful. Just something black or something little, No. Maybe.
It's expensive too.
Is it?
I think there's a couple
$100.
Yeah.
Even little teeny ones?
I don't know. You probably know people.
I do. I know people. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of our biggest fans, I know that at least one of our biggest fans she's got a bunch of tattoos. She probably has a connection, I'm sure.
I know a lot of people with connections.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. No tattoo for you though, ever?
I just can't, and I don't like needles. Needles scare the fuck out of me. I really don't like the idea of just, you know, getting stuck with a bunch of needles over and over again. No.
Any of
And
your
I don't
brothers
wouldn't
have
even know.
tattoos?
I don't think
I don't
so. I
think
know
so either.
Darlene
I know
does.
Darlene does.
I'm pretty sure. I think TA has one, but I'm pretty sure Tommy and Billy are the same as me. We're not needle people, so that shit ain't happening. Rose boys don't like the needles. I could be dead wrong. Billy, if you got a tattoo, shoot me a text message. Don't send me a picture of it. I don't want to see that. It's probably on your ass or something like that. I don't want to see your ass. So
Would you be so surprised?
I would be shocked. Especially, well, I'd be more shocked with Tommy than I would with Billy, I
Yeah.
guess. Just because Tommy, I think, is like me. He's not a big fan of needles
I
either.
think Billy would surprise me more than Tommy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it was either one of them. But if the one I would be least shocked with would be Bill or Tom. Yeah, I would be less surprised by Billy than I would from Tommy for something like that.
Of the three of you, who would be the most likely to get a tattoo?
I would still say Bill.
Billy.
Oh yeah. I guess that would be because he'd probably have the local on it or something, you know, something for the union because he's 100% full tilt. And Tommy is too, but I mean,
I think of my siblings, my sister would probably be the most likely to get tattooed.
yeah, Michael's never going to do that shit.
Never do it.
It's never going to happen. Your sister, I could see it. She'd put something like badass on her.
Yeah.
So I can say whatever the hell I want. She doesn't watch the show, so.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, the tattoo dream was kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I was flipping through Facebook and there was a question in there about being banned from places. This one story was this kid, they used to get season passes to Six Flags when it was $40 for a season pass. So, you would just get the season pass because, and he like lived near there. So they were going all the time, but he and his friends were teenagers and they would end up getting in so much trouble while they were there. They got banned from the park. And so they would just go and buy another season pass under a fake name and come right back in and go do it again. But have you ever been banned from a place?
No.
No. That would have surprised me if you said yes.
I've been
thrown out of a place before.
I've been thrown out of a place, but only because I was there with Rick and Rick caused the fight.
So Rick got thrown out.
Rick got thrown out, and because I was always the driver, then I had to go too. But I mean, that's just because that's what Rick did, you know. As a matter of fact, when we were up for Joe's wedding, you weren't with me, but I was up for Joe's wedding, and we went to a bar the night before the wedding, and I got pissed drunk doing karaoke, and I didn't know that Rick was getting in some shit with some folks, so I didn't know. We I don't know if we got tossed out or if we just left before shit went down, but I was just like, I was having a good time. I was singing, I was kicking ass up.
And he's oblivious to things as we've talked about before. He's oblivious to things going on around him.
It was great. I had a great time, but apparently,
Could you imagine if you ever got like banned from a place?
Like
where you are very even tempered. So to go into a place and cause such a ruckus that you get banned, I can't even picture that happening.
Yeah, I don't usually lose my shit over much. I mean, I've lost my shit on the phone talking to Walmart. But that was, they were fucking with her, so you don't do that. That'll get my ire.
You almost got banned out of that IRS building in Norfolk.
Oh yeah. Well,
you could have been banned. You could have been.
I could have been arrested. I could have been arrested at the IRS building in Norfolk because we had
That's where it would be, folks. If
Yeah.
it ever happened with Kevin, it would be at an IRS building.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're going to be sending one of the 87,000 fucking agents to our house.
Oh, they'll
We
probably
are
all be
going to
armed.
get audited.
They'll all be armed too. They're armed security at the
Yeah,
IRS.
and they are going to be armed. That was in their hiring pamphlet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to be armed
Why would you need to arm an IRS agent?
because it's the fucking government. That's what they do now. Apparently, it's in the thing that they need to be willing to carry arms and be ready to shoot to kill. I swear to Christ, I'm not even making that up. It's in their hiring pamphlet.
I mean, I'm just thinking of like numbers guys sitting behind a computer running people's paperwork. They need to be armed.
Yeah, well,
That's scary.
I guess they figure if you're gonna be in a room auditing somebody and the guy goes a little crazy, you might have to bust a cap.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to pay? God damn it, you're gonna pay now.
Weird. Yeah, but it would happen. That would be one place Kevin would be banned from.
Yeah.
He tried to leave. He actually did leave.
I left a bunch of fair tax pamphlets. I was pissed. I was super pissed, and I legit should have been arrested because I was talking about destroying the IRS while I was in their building in the middle of Norfolk in a town I didn't know. We didn't even have a parking spot. She dropped me off in front of the building. I didn't quite know my getaway strategy, so I could have been
not
super
really a criminal
fucked.
mind, are you?
No, I didn't. I was just pissed. So I had to legit. I had to pick trash up and been like, all right, I'm here picking up trash. And
I deserve this.
I did it. So this one's on me. I'll spend a couple nights in jail and pick up your trash. So the ants are going to be laughing their ass off about it. I'll tell y'all about that whole story when y'all are down here.
It's funny. Yeah, I've never been banned out of anywhere.
Yeah.
Not even that close.
No.
The snarkiest I ever got was with a Home Depot guy one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was just a snarky. It wasn't, something they would have thrown me out for, but I can't remember what we were looking for. Blinds or something for a window. We were putting blinds up.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't find them, and the guy was like, and we had walked.
Is this with me? Because I don't remember this at all.
We were together.
Hmm.
And we finally found a guy after how I
you don't like talking to Skippy.
I want it, but even in a store, I don't go in stores much anymore, but at the time I want to get in there and out. I'm not going to just walk around and whatever. We had been looking for a while and I was irritated. And the guy, finally, we're just going to ask the guy where the blinds are. And he said, if you go down to aisle, whatever, where it says flooring. And I was like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense to have the window treatments on the flooring aisle. And I just kind of walked away. I'm sure the guy was like, what a bitch. But why would you? Yeah, I mean, flooring, how would you even put those two things together? Mm-hmm. That's about, I can take a lot in public. I just don't speak up. But that day I had enough.
So I try to make those people laugh. I remember, and I saw this on Facebook. I said this a few years ago. It was in a Walmart or a Best Buy. I needed a Ethernet cable in a hurry. And I didn't happen to have one. I usually, because you get Ethernet cables with modems and shit, and then you just sock them in a drawer. But we had just done a great big purge and threw all that shit out. So I needed an Ethernet cable. The one I had was bad. The best place to get one is Best Buy. So I ran up there. And I said, I come in the store and the guy says, hey, can I help you? What are you looking for, sir? I said, I need an Ethernet cable. And he goes, how long do you want it? And I said, I want to keep it forever. And at first he's just looking at me like, and I was like, nah, just 6 feet's fine, dude. I was fucking with you. And he was like, oh, okay. And he got it. And I want to keep it forever versus 6 feet long. So
that was like Dad when they used to ask him if he wanted a box for his food. Mm-hmm. The waitress would come up and say, do you want a box for that? And he said, no, I'll just pay for it. He'd be like, oh my goodness. I think I might have found the solution to my mass murder of everything plant related.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I want to put a couple.
Because those have been there forever. Everybody's probably noticing them. Those have been there. They're wooden. So.
No, yeah. I want to put a couple plants in my classroom.
Yeah.
But I kill any greenery, any kind of plant Kids will
Robin
give
in
me
charge of it.
flower. Well, yeah, that was my first solution. Just let Robin take care of it because she's good at that. Kids will bring me plants and I'll be like, oh, thank you. And then like the end of the day, I'm like, hey, does somebody want this? Because I will just take it home and kill it. It will die. This is where plants
She's got
come to die.
cactuses that have died in this house.
But I saw this ad for a website called Easy Plants. And so you buy the plants, they come in this pot, and you fill the pot with lukewarm water,
Mhm.
and it feeds itself through. You can't overfeed it. It only takes the water it needs. So you can't kill it with too much water. I don't know
Okay.
how it works. I'm going to do a little bit more research into it. But look, see? You have, and these are really pretty. I mean, it's expensive because, people who can't take care of
What's
plants
a
have to pay more
special,
money.
well, all right.
It's something in the here. Something in the design of the pot. See?
Oh, okay.
The way the pots are made, so the water sits down here and the plants just
Absorb.
take up the water they need when they need it, and then you just do that. The soil is all sitting on top of it.
Okay.
So see, like that.
Oh, all right.
So I might be spending, a little bit of money on a plant.
That's fine.
And if I don't kill it, it will be worth it.
Keep an eye out on her Amazon wish list, folks.
Oh, that brings me to my next thing. How'd you know that was on my list?
Oh, well.
Did we talk about the
I think
Amazon
we've talked
wish
about it
list?
last
Like
week.
teachers sharing their wish lists
Yeah.
through social media. It's called Clear the List. It's like a big movement.
Yeah, and it's an awesome movement. I wish she had put more on her list, to be honest with you.
Well, I saw today a friend of mine shared something, a Facebook friend of mine shared something that I don't know what school system this is, but an email was sent out to the teachers saying Amazon wish lists are a no-no. Because
Really?
yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I probably now I'm gonna sound like Brian Johnson, like, why the fuck can't I find this right now? Let me see if I can find it.
Just for recap, Amazon, of course, you can do wish list, and what they were encouraging teachers to do was to put a wish list of stuff you need for your class, like a class wish list. And then what the idea was is that people could go to your wish list, and whether it's parents in your school or your family or people
Yeah, and
or even celebrities, and
that's where it started. Like entrepreneurs and companies and stuff on Twitter.
Yeah,
we're like, put your list here, we'll retweet them out to like our supporters and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there were celebrities that would just start buying people's wish lists, and and not even take real credit for it. They were just like, sure, I've got money out the ass here. I'll buy this shit for you.
So anyway, they get this email that it's against school board policy because it's an online solicitation. Policy requires fundraising or online solicitation to be approved by the principal before the request is posted online. This provides an appropriate review of what's being requested to make sure the requested items benefit students directly and are not items that the school would reasonably be expected to provide, like pencils and paper and stuff like that.
Except they don't.
Well, that's not true. The policy also states that all items received through an online solicitation belong to the school, not the individual employee. Now, I know because I've done stuff through Donors Choose.
Yeah.
Donors Choose projects, if your project gets funded and your materials are purchased by the Donors Choose people. So like you go in there and you set up your project, people donate to Donors Choose, and then once your project gets fully funded, someone from Donors Choose goes and purchases the items and has them sent to you. The Amazon wish list, people go to Amazon, they purchase it like a gift registry. Mm-hmm. So they're purchasing it themselves to you.
Yeah.
I know Donors Chooses those items belong to the school and not to the teacher. But to say that an Amazon wish list that you share Like if your family's like, put a wish list out because,
And
we'll
this
donate
is
books or something.
purely about control. That's all
Right.
that is, purely about control. There's some bureaucrat out there that says, well, they can't be doing this. I don't have any say in it.
And
And
so then
that's exactly what
it
it
says if
is.
you already have an online wish list but did not get your principal's approval before posting it, then communicate ASAP with your principal. You have to have your principal's
And
approval
I
in
bet you most
advance.
principals are like, sure, fine, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
And then you have to submit some form 30 days after your wish list ends to comply with school board policy. So
That's all about control. That is pure 100% control.
I don't know if this is a policy. I guess I should find out.
Is that
but
local?
This is not, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's, like I said, I don't know.
In any event,
it's
help
not
you-
Virginia Beach School. It's
Yeah.
a different school system.
In
but-
any event, help your kids' teachers out. Look for their wish list. And
I mean,
help
is
them
it
out.
really? I have kind of randomly glanced through, not people that I know, but like
Other,
which to see like what are people asking for? Because sometimes you get like, oh, that's really cool. Like I want that, whatever.
That's a good idea.
And there are people who put really expensive things on there.
Mhm.
One of the things I had on my wish list this year, which got purchased, and I guess technically, it got purchased by somebody I know who,
Thank you.
yeah, well, thank you. But it's made to be a timer for a gym.
Mhm.
And you
Oh,
hang
the
it
one we
up.
put up the other day?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we put it up on the wall. It's big digital timer clock, but you can set like a
You can spot it
13-minute
anywhere in
timer.
the room. It's fantastic.
The reason I did it is because my assistant and I both teach small groups, and I would have the timer. And so she would be teaching the small group across the room. She never knew how much time she had left, like to gauge, okay, can we start this next thing, or are we about out of time? And so the timer would just go off on her. It would be a sprint. And I can only imagine I wouldn't be able to, like, I need to know, okay, we have 2 minutes left. So we have time to do whatever. So this, I set the 13-minute timer and it's up where she can see it. So she knows how much time we have left. I know how much time we have left. The kids will know how much time is left. And then it beeps.
Good loud beep.
And then you hit start again and it just goes another 13 minutes. Now, I guess that is directly in use for the school, but it's for the students, but it's more of a management tool for the teachers.
Yeah.
Would that be okay to put on the list or no?
And, yeah.
It's not something my school would have bought if I had asked for it.
And then if you were to, let's say for whatever reason, you left Brookwood.
Do I have to leave it there?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, I know I don't, because I know the person who bought it, technically it belongs to her.
Yeah.
But she happens to work in my classroom too. So
yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
I can tell you right now, anything that I've spent money on for your class and that it can come with us.
Anything that I spend money on with is mine.
Yeah.
Right. But if I'm online soliciting for donations,
that's such a horse shit. That's some bureaucrat wanting control.
Can't you just let the teachers ask for a little bit of help?
Yeah.
Our school system, I will say Virginia Beach is really good about making sure we have all the supplies we need.
Yeah.
So if we need paper, if we need pencils, if we need crayons and glue and scissors and construction paper and all of those things, we can purchase the school pays for.
Yeah.
They're really good about it. I've never had anything I really needed in that way that they were like, no, you can't have that. And then there are things I buy myself, like a personal laminator, a little like 8.5 by 11 sheet laminator. I buy that myself because now the school, we do put on our supply list the sheets and they do pay for them every year. Because as a kindergarten teacher, we laminate a lot. And that stuff can get expensive. And if I want a special pencil sharpener, I buy that myself. Or if I want a special chair, I buy that myself. If I want decorations or like cool colored organizing systems, whatever, that stuff I pay for myself. Things to make the room look inviting. Those aren't things that I would put on the supply order, you know? And to an extent, I expect to pay for that myself. And we do spend between $400 and $500 a year every summer to get things ready for the next school year.
And I don't complain about it. I know it sounds like I'm complaining about it. I just want people to understand more or less that it's more to teaching than just sitting in front of a classroom full of kids and
Especially
doing
in
whatever.
elementary school.
There are things that the individual teacher does, that
We
doesn't
buy
get covered.
fidgets and
Yeah.
treasure box goodies, and sometimes you buy shoes and book bags and new
Yeah.
clothes and stuff for kids that come in and don't have them.
Yeah.
And that is stuff that the school will provide to an extent, or will get donated to the school.
But in a pinch,
but
we're
in a
footing
pinch
the
of,
bill ourselves.
right.
And I'm not.
I have known teachers that have seen a kid come in the building with the shoe, sole of their shoe flopping off their foot, and ran over to Walmart on their lunch break and bought the kid a new pair of shoes.
That's awesome.
Like, that's not unusual. Or you see a kid come in 2 or 3 days in a row in the wintertime with no coat on, and the next day the kid comes in and that teacher has gone and bought a coat, and they're like, here, like, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much I've seen that happen. Or the book bag, the strap is broken and the kid's been struggling with the broken strap on the book bag, and then you just go and you buy a new book bag and you give it to the kid. Like,
yeah.
I'm not complaining about that stuff. That's what we do. But I don't think it's a lot to ask to put. You're not forcing anybody to buy anything off of it. If people want to do it and it's making them feel good, then what's the problem?
And yours is all done? Yours is clear?
There were a few items left on there, which I may or may not go and purchase. It depends.
Well, if you guys want to help out, go to the
wish
list on Amazon.
Things that, this would be really cool to have.
Yeah.
Not stuff I need, but things that would be really cool for my room.
So her wish list or Cash App, $K Rose DA.
He doesn't ever stop. You don't ever stop. But anyway, I just thought, that's interesting. Just let the teachers have that one thing. Yeah. Can you just get off our back about that?
Yeah, don't be a bitch about it.
The other thing is I'm starting to get, teachers have left in droves. Yeah. There's a teacher shortage right now. And
you've been pissed about this.
I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing from the teachers that have left about how great
especially
it is.
On TikTok, because you see that all the time.
TikTok is because it's almost like I'm almost feeling a little bit shamed for not leaving.
Yeah.
Like no one's ever said
you're
it,
but you're
a dumbass for staying and putting up with that shit. And it's like, there's lots of reasons why I stay. For one of the main reasons, especially after last year, and there are a few times where I have, considered trying to do something else. I've been teaching for a long time, and I am at the point in my life where I don't want to start over anywhere else. I don't want to stop this and start at the bottom somewhere else,
Yeah.
And I still love my job. We put up with a lot of crap, but there's crap in every job, and there's sometimes more crap than you
want to deal with.
You get paid to deal with, and you put in more hours than you get paid to work. And I know people are like, well, you're off all summer, but I don't get paid for the summer. I'm not getting paid for my summertime. I get paid for 10 months out of the year. I just happen to break my paychecks apart so I continue to get them during the summer, so that I don't, starve in the summertime with no paycheck, because I'm not very good at saving and planning. But and then I don't even want to complain about pay. The pay is not bad. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but if everybody leaves, who's going to fix it?
Yeah.
What's happening now is they're putting people in these positions that are not qualified.
Yeah. And
now I have to not only deal with my job with the kids, but I have to work with all these people who, not me personally, because I don't know what, but I look at these teachers in Florida that are dealing with staff that's not certified for teaching, and now the staff that's staying is now working on not only are they teaching their kids, but they're freaking teaching the teachers they teach with how to teach, so you're putting more of a burden on, but whatever. But yeah, I'm getting tired of hearing how much better it is outside of education.
Yeah.
That's not the mindset I need anymore. So I stopped following some people on TikTok because I'm like, I don't need that negative, how much a teacher's job sucks anymore. My job doesn't really suck.
Fuck.
So I still get to work with little kids, and they're hilarious and funny, and they learn so much, and you watch them grow and change, and that still means a lot to me. So,
and you like set them on the path, and you're the starting point on the path.
Yeah, hopefully.
And what happens after that, But
granted, I'm dealing with 5-year-olds and not 17-year-olds that are in your face screaming and yelling and threatening to.
Oh my God, Richard was telling me horror stories.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't have any, Yeah, I don't know.
That was a cool thing that happened this week. I actually sat and talked to Richard. We were to Kyoto's and had a decent dinner. Kyoto's is good food and all, but you really can't have conversations with anybody.
It's a Japanese steakhouse.
Yeah, it's a Japanese steakhouse, hibachi. But he came over. We had this lamp that we were going to be taking to Goodwill, but we just decided to go ahead and just take it to, whatever. And he just said, "Oh, I could use that lamp." So he came over, picked up. We chatted for a bit. That was cool. Mm-hmm. That was a good day.
Yep.
He was telling me some horror stories.
Oh, I can imagine.
A middle school teacher.
Oh, that's worse than high school, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's gonna be the worst.
Those kids and their hormones and everything changing.
Yeah.
They just aren't. They're not even real people at that age. They're just like, what the hell?
and Suffolk has got a weird problem that they need new schools. They need to build new schools, and they had a plan because they were suddenly flush with cash from the CARES Act, that they had all this money to build schools, but people were like, "No, you can't tear down these schools. These are our alma maters. You got to fix these schools." And they're like, "No, these schools are fucked up. You can't. There's no fixing them." These schools were built in the 30s or whatever. The 20s.
Virginia Beach does not have that issue. They will tear a school down.
Who is this?
I don't know. She's walking the other way now.
Somebody's in our yard, everybody.
It's just weird to see them walking through our grass rather than along them.
And it's an old woman too. I don't mind the kids running through because usually
I avoid walking through yards because you never know where there's going to be a hole, especially as an older person.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's all right. That just distracted both of us. So.
Fucking old people. No.
Hey.
I'm kidding.
I went and got my hair cut today, and it looks
really good.
It's pretty good.
I got my hair cut a couple weeks back.
The front is so silver, and then everything, like, it's still real dark gray in the back.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, my students would always tell me the back looks so different than the front.
Which most of your family, they have either
white.
Silver or white hair.
Yeah.
But mostly white.
Yeah.
Your dad had white hair.
I'm still fairly young, so. Yeah, Dad had white hair, and then he got cancer, and now it's growing back this color.
Crazy.
I don't have anything other than I'm curious if anybody out there uses Verizon for your cell phone service, if you've noticed a difference in the quality of your
because lately it's been bad. We kind of half attribute it to being next to Oceana, but
we've lived next to Oceana for 20 plus years, and I've never had as much trouble as I've had in the last year.
It's just been stupid.
So I was reading online today that you can reset your towers by turning off your phone, taking out the SIM card and putting it back in, and then turning your phone on again.
I don't know if I want to do that.
So I'm not sure if that's a legit solution to the problem. As I thought maybe I need to update the cell towers or something. I don't know.
I don't want to do that.
But I flip back and forth between 5G and LTE, but it takes forever. If I'm looking for something, oh my God, it makes me so crazy. And we used to have our iPads all connected to our Verizon 5G or whatever LTE, and we just cut all of that just to save money on the bill because that was costing us a great deal of money every month. And as soon as we did that, we've lost cable services 3 times for long periods of time.
I had to go into the office the other day. It was
And
I was so
so
pissed. I mean, literally, I got up. I'm gonna go to work, and then the television cut out.
as soon as he was getting ready to log into
And I
work,
was like, "What?" And then I looked, and the modem was blinking, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And I pulled out my phone, and I looked, and we were in an outage. So it was going to go until 1 p.m. I was like, or till 1 a.m. And I was like, Jesus Christ!
and I had to print. I had to give a presentation to somebody on Friday, and I had papers that I had to print for it, and we lost service at like 9:20 Thursday night. And when I got up Friday morning, my meeting was at 9 o'clock. I got up and we still didn't have service. So I had to she's just taking a walk, Kevin. She's taking her shoes off. She's walking in the grass.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she's got any weapons on her.
No, but she's just wandering around. She's like what was it? The lady.
Maybe her shoes are hurting
lady.
her feet, and she's just on a walk, and she just wants to feel the grass.
Yeah. She's like zigzag lady from the.
What was I saying?
I
don't know. You weren't listening because you were so busy watching the lady.
Threat levels. I'm looking at threat levels.
That woman was no threat.
Yeah, probably not. She would have went crazy.
Tilly didn't even bark.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Fuck
it. Okay. Yeah, totally forgot.
Yeah.
What do you got? Anything?
Just a special shout out to the fam that, like I said, some of them dealing with COVID. And Terry, my cousin Terry, she's coming back from her mom's funeral and whatnot. Her daughter just started college and moved out of the house, so now she's got like an empty house. So I say good luck to her. She's
it's a big change.
It's a big change, and I'm sure she'll do fine. But it's a big change, and we're thinking about you.
Did you have any good news?
Oh, yeah. I saw on the Good News Network. I saw this, and this one, it actually, just reading the headlines, I haven't read the story yet, but this is in the goodnewsnetwork.net, but it says mom installs 20 defibrillators around town after she loses a teen son to cardiac arrest. Now I get the good news part of it, that she's installed this, but it's such a sad reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. So let's pick something else.
It's good to put those around town, but don't you have to train people on how to use them?
I took a training though.
I
remember?
did too, but you have to learn how to use them. Yeah, there are steps you have to. It does talk you through the process.
Yeah, the machines do.
But you have to have what do I do with this?
Yeah. Well, it does a guided thing right on the machine, so that's good. But yeah, I remember because the library was hosting did you know how to do this? And they had like 40 different little classes, mini classes that you could take for free. And Mike had just gotten a job there, so we decided to go up, and that was the class I took. It's like
I've been
quick CPR
trained at school because we have one.
Yeah, so
I can also administer an EpiPen if I have to.
Couple quits job to travel the world in a van they renovated and transformed for $25K.
I was just talking about this with some people the other night about the amount of people who are buying these vans or these school buses and transferring them over into homes and just driving around and living their life.
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah.
And how do you afford to do it?
Well, you could probably get a school bus, particularly a school bus.
I know you can.
And then convert it. If it were just me and you, we just need a bed and a little galley kitchen, and just driving the bus from here to there, paint it up like whatever.
I give it to people who are that adventurous to live their life that way.
And there you go.
That takes a lot.
Artist draws astounding portraits with both her hands and feet at the same time.
What?
She's drawing like.
She can draw with her hands and her feet at the same time?
Yeah. There's a picture of her doing it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Kind of hard to see on that, but.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
You had a cousin whose daughter, I remember watching her do it. We were at her house and she was playing piano, and then she decided to sit on the floor and started playing the piano over her head backwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're all their neural pathways are open. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
Yeah, they're using a little more than 10% of their brain.
Mhm.
Let's see. Island is a wonderland for penguins once again after dog helps eradicate 300,000 invasive rabbits.
Aw.
So the dog took care of the rabbits and then the
Wait, so they
penguins.
got rid of the rabbits for the penguins.
Yeah,
Who decides which species is more worthy of being saved?
apparently
I
the
guess the
dog.
dog decided.
Yeah. Tilly would probably side with the penguin over the parrot
Probably she would have probably taken care
because
of
she
quite a few of
doesn't
the
bark at the
rabbits.
mallards. I mean, like, unless they get in the pool.
Speaking of mallards, have you seen the Muscovies around lately?
No, no.
I
I guess they
hope
went back north.
I hope someone. Oh, do they migrate?
I'm pretty sure they're like other birds that migrate.
Hmm,
It gets
maybe.
too hot down here, so they start heading north.
Maybe.
And
I
then
hope someone didn't like call animal control and have them rehomed.
Nah, I think this neighborhood is appreciative of the Muscovies.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're not as evil as the fucking geese.
They're cool. I like them.
Yeah, they are cool. And then the last one that I saw here that looks cool is the Samson Switchblade flying car is finally ready for takeoff, and it's kind of brilliant. Probably not electric though, so
It runs
and that
on
was
jet
kind
fuel.
of a dick thing to say. But that looks kind of cool, doesn't it?
Samson Switchblade flying car.
Yeah, I imagine those wings pop out because you can't drive down the road like that.
Let's see. Street legal, three-wheeled car that turns at the push of a button into a 200-mile-per-hour plane.
That'd be cool. You can drive that to
No,
Georgia.
that's such a bad idea.
You think?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Flying cars. People have been wanting flying cars
I don't care what
since
people
the fucking
want.
Jetsons.
It's not a good idea. It's a 1.6 liter three-cylinder engine that takes 91 octane gasoline to create 190 horsepower, which powers an electric motor that pushes the wheels on land and propeller in the air.
Wow.
200 miles per hour of cruising speed with a 450 mile range on a full tank.
So if you were to go to Jennifer's house, which is what?
550 miles.
So you'd have to stop somewhere along the way and fill up.
I didn't even have to do that.
But it would be probably a lot shorter of a trip. But it's it's not very big, so it would just be like two people.
I don't see the logistics of that if that were ever to become like popular, because they'd be crashing into each other all the time in the air.
There's a video with it, 20
Let's
seconds.
see. All right, it's on the ground, looking stupid. Okay. Yeah, is it
Kind of looks like a Mini Cooper with wings.
Go in the air? Mm.
Well, the fucking video that they have here
shows it not even flying in the air, so that's good.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a plausible.
Well, now it looks like bullshit now. So
I mean, they would be hitting trees and cell towers.
I mean, I would imagine you'd have some form of training and not just gonna let Joe Slub fly the plane, fly the car.
Matter. Then you look up and you just see cars flying around all over the place. How stupid. You imagine the noise. Now, we live off of a jet base and people complain because of the jets. But could you imagine if Johnny Appleseed down the street gets up to, you'd have to have a very long road to like build speed up to get.
Well, I imagine you drive to the airport and you'd have runways. Like
sure, that's what we need at the airport right
probably
now.
Take off at Pungo or Fentress.
I have news, Kevin. The planes can't take off from the airfields right now because already you're stuck on the tarmac for 6 hours.
I'm saying for private airports, for us, if we had that car and we were going to fly to Jennifer's house, we'd drive to Pungo, go on the.
We'd wait 4 hours at the airport for them to give us the take.
You make the plans beforehand. You call them up and say, hey, we're leaving on the 25th. We need to use your airfield. It'll cost $200. Okay, great. We fill up the car, we get out there, we take off from Pungo, start flying towards wherever. I'm sure you'd have to figure out a landing strip where you were just about halfway, and then you'd have to find a landing strip in Georgia. But there are small private airfields that you could go to and take off from.
You could already do that if you owned a plane.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm all for moving
The only
forward with the
difference
flying
between
car.
that and owning your own little private plane is that the wings fold up in it and then you can drive it home.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I mean, that's kind of cool though, because
So
if
it's
you,
not really a car turning into a plane, it's a plane that turns into a car.
and that's fine.
But
Because think about it, if let's say we were to do that and we fly to Jen's house, if you were to have your own plane and you fly to Jen's house, you probably get there in a couple hours versus the 9 hour drive. But then you got to rely on somebody else's car to get you around. That way you got your own damn car.
sounds like something celebrities would use, and that would be it.
That's how it
Because
starts.
they're already using it. They'll hop in their private plane to
That's
get
how
from
it
one
starts.
city to another in California.
Yeah.
And then yell at you because you're not using an electric vehicle.
Yeah. Well, they can go to hell.
All right, you ready for this?
Yep.
If you were in a pharmacy and a diabetic stranger couldn't pay $100 for insulin, would you pay for it?
$100. I would help somebody out if I could. It depends on if I had the $100 to spare, to be honest with you. Because if I don't have the $100, that's that's a big strain. I'd probably help out as best I could, but
You'd probably rally people. Hey, you got $10? Let's put
that's
together
good.
10
10
bucks.
bucks, 10 people's got 10 bucks. We got this guy covered. Let's help him out. Yeah. But if I don't have the 100, I'd probably, like you said, probably try to rally folks if I could. If I could.
Yeah, it's always good to have. I took a ton of shit, by the way. A few episodes back, the question came up if you found Jeff Bezos's wallet, would you?
Maybe you should about that.
No one else said they would keep the money except for me. And then they were surprised that I would keep the money. My parents were surprised.
Oh.
Keep the money? That's so dishonest. I'm like, it's Jeff Bezos. You're gonna miss that money. I won't take all of the money. I'd take half of the money.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I'm the only one that would do that. Or I'm the only one that would admit that they would do that. Mm-hmm. Everyone else said, oh, I'd give it back. Sure. If you could sell a famous friend's secrets to a tabloid for a lot of money, would you? No, I wouldn't either.
No.
I would not either.
No. Besides, we were listening to Tell 'em Steve Day this morning, and apparently, if you piss off celebrities, they can hold a grudge for a very long time. Looking at you, Q. That was some crazy shit we heard.
We're still. I actually got to the first episode that I started listening to, when I first started listening to Tell 'em Steve Dave
in 2020.
In 2020,
yeah,
which they started in, I don't know, 2012 or something. But
it's still an older episode.
It is, because it's an episode from 2018.
Yeah.
So I went back and listened. I don't know why I picked that one, but it was the first one that
it was probably as far back as they went at the time.
Yeah, probably. So I'm catching up to where I wasn't a regular listener for a long time.
Yeah.
So there are episodes on and off that I've listened to, but it was funny because when I listened, I was like, oh, that's what that joke was about. Oh, that's what they meant when they were talking about Walt being a super smeller. That's been something in their history that they've spoken about many times. It was funny to have kind of some backstory on it. Do you feel guilty when you experience great pleasure?
No.
It depends. If it's like something I shouldn't be eating, like if I were to go to Starbucks and get a Frappuccino, I would feel guilty for that.
Yeah, I don't ever feel guilty for that kind of shit. I don't feel guilty
about eating cookies.
Well, yeah, there is that. Well, that's just because I'm trying to lose weight.
Right.
Not fuck up my sugar. But Michael keeps bringing fucking cookies in.
Not only that, the other day he's like, I'm going to get cookies. Does anybody want anything?
I literally was like, God damn it, Mike.
He's free to buy cookies if he wants.
Yeah.
Which vice of a friend or family member would you choose to get rid of?
Oh, I would deeply encouraged my friends and family to quit smoking, and I love it when they do. I celebrate it because it's a bad habit. It's going to kill you, and most of my family have quit, and it's fantastic, and I appreciate it a lot.
He would probably want me to stop spending needless money.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
One
I don't
more.
mind that at all.
You ready?
Yep.
Have you ever regretted accepting an invitation because you found something you'd rather do? All right, me socially, this is me. I accept the invitation and immediately regret that I accepted the invitation.
And then try to find an out.
And then try to find it out and then feel bad because I'm trying to find it out. And then I like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that like that, but you know, there are times when I go or I'll forget about making the commitment or yeah, I just don't want to do that. So that happens, but
Yeah, you are much more social. You like to be around people more than I do.
yeah.
Not that I don't like to be around people. Like all my social events I went to this past week, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes a lot of I'm an introverted, shy person. And I learned this week that being introverted and being shy are not the same.
Yeah.
But I am a shy person who also tends to be introverted. And so it takes a lot of mental effort on my part to be
But you're a badass, so
but social and whatever. Like it tires me out.
yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not the kind of person that can sit down in a room full of strangers and just strike up a conversation. I will go off and sit at a table by myself. I just am more comfortable in my own zone.
And I will. I'll just start to talk
Kevin
to
will sit
anybody.
anywhere, talk to anybody, I can't tell you the number of people he's given food advice to on the way out of a restaurant.
One time I was being a dick. I went into a restaurant. We had literally gotten the last piece of rockfish. And as I was leaving, I was like, man, that rockfish was awesome. And left.
I always just feel like nobody cares what my suggestion is. They know what they like. I don't know them.
Yeah.
They don't, they're probably like, because that's what I would do. If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, you don't know me.
Most folks, though, I get, especially from guys, they appreciate it a lot. They're like, all right, great, thanks,
They
man.
either
I really
appreciate it a lot or
that.
they're really good at just making you think they appreciate it.
That's fine too.
And then you walk away and they're like, that guy don't know me.
But that's fine too. My interaction with them was positive. What they said after the fact, don't give a single fuck about it. Don't care.
I'm getting there. As the older I get, the less I care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
There you go.
Look, I get on a weekly podcast with you,
mm-hmm.
And
well,
I will admit that the driving force in this podcast is you.
Yeah.
Because if it were left up to me, I would not sit here and do this every week. I don't dislike doing it. I always enjoy doing it with you, but you get so much enjoyment out of it that makes me want to do it.
Yeah. And I think they get enjoyment out of it.
So
we get at least usually around 30 or so views.
Yeah.
Got to boost those numbers up though, so we can get some of that advertising.
No, I don't. You know what? I have decided that's a pain in the ass. I want to.
Really?
Yeah, because you have all kinds of like restrictions on how long it has to be, when you can put it in.
Oh my God, you're listening to tell them, Steve. They've got those rules because people listen to them. I want just enough the way we get a couple ducats from folks.
Then we got to claim it on our taxes, and it becomes a huge pain.
Well, then we would get audited by the IRS. Probably get shot in the face by fucking
because we put out this random little show that 30 people might listen to.
Yeah. And they're starting to look at things like Cash App. So I probably do need to come up with, if you folks want to start throwing us some money, we'll have to come up with something that is traceable by the government.
We probably shouldn't talk about it now, because you tell them to put a code like thanks for dinner, so it doesn't seem like it's a donation.
Yeah. That's the other thing I saw the other day. When you're tipping, if you tip, you best to tip cash, and make sure you put a note or something in there that says this is not a tip. This is a gift to you, a personal gift, so you don't have to claim it on the IRS. So
no, they don't claim cash tips.
I'm sure they don't. I try to give cash whenever I can.
If I'm going to take money from Jeff Bezos's wallet, I'm not going to claim cash tips. Now, I've never waited tables. I've never done a job where I've earned tips.
Yeah.
So I don't know for sure, how that is viewed. But to me, you stick that cash in your pocket. No one knows you have it. So what's the difference?
Yeah. I imagine, and that's what
And
I'm
you
saying.
get
If you
paid
do,
next to nothing to
I
start
mean,
with.
it's trackable if you pay by card, but if you're leaving cash on the table, that's less trackable. So
What's even more frustrating are places like
like
Starbucks where
fancy,
you put the tip in a jar and they all just split it,
yeah, fuck that.
you know. And I get why they do that, but
Yeah.
like at a coffee shop, but in a restaurant that sucks because you could be working your ass off, earning really good tips, and the next guy could be completely blowing at his job and you're just going to split all the money you earned with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think is right. I think that's why that cash tip would be going right in my pocket. That's why I don't wait tables because I don't
When we
know.
go to Margin Rays,
That's
I
not
always
why
try
I
to
don't
leave
wait.
cash. I try to leave cash because those people.
We do always try to leave cash. If we have it, we don't really carry.
We
I
don't
mean, we've
carry
been
a lot of
carrying
cash.
cash
We
more
carry
lately.
yeah. Since vacation, we
Mhm.
carry more cash.
We had our vacation money, which we did not spend on vacation. It lasted us almost through most of the summer,
Yeah.
which was pretty good.
So, there you
Um, yeah.
So that's it for this week. Next week, the only thing we got going on is you're going to start school a little bit, and I got work. Got people coming to town. I guess your family, your aunt and uncle, and their kids.
They're
So
coming to Sandbridge for the week. I don't think I will see them though. I mean, I don't
I
know.
thought they wanted to see all of us.
I think mom and dad are going on Wednesday,
Well,
and I gotta stay here and wait for dad's medicine
well,
because you have to sign for it.
yeah, he's got that election.
So other than that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I got one more.
we'll come up with
I got
something.
one more week. Really, I don't count this as a work week because I really only have to work on Thursday, and
Yeah,
we'll be in meetings probably most of the day Thursday.
yeah,
But whatever, it's all good.
yeah.
All right, so y'all have a great week, and we will see you back here next week for episode 73.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.